couple of things I need to point out about right here. One is this rubber has got little chatter marks in it. The black plastic here is smooth. I'm sanding this, this, and this all at the same time. But the way rubber reacts to the sand block, it leaves these chatter marks. That'll come out later. There's another process. The other thing is, right in this little crotch right here is hard to deal with. Let me show you what it's supposed to look like when it's done. On this sample rifle, you can see there's a little sharp line, a little V, and it fades out about right there. But from there to there, there's a little V. It's not easy to get there. It's really difficult to get there. Matter of fact, if you'll notice in this one, right where my fingernail is, you can see that it kind of turns down a little bit. It turns, it's not a straight, an absolute straight line from here all the way there. It's hard to get that straight. It's really hard to get that straight. So a lot of people will just kind of give up on it, and it'll have a little turn down. And then you got to work this in to this, and then you got to make this V, and you got to have it clean with no marks from a chisel, from a sand block, from anything. It's really hard to get down in that V and get it really clean. A chisel, a really good sharp chisel, is the best way to do that. Now this V has to be the same on this side and this side. If you have one going this way and one going that way or that way, it really looks bad. So it's hard to do because you can't do it at this angle. You got to lay it on its side. You got to turn it over on its side to work on it. So you got to look from time to time at this direction this V is going. Ideally, that V will be in line with, imagine this was a pistol grip, and it would start from up here at the top and come down, and that would be in that curve, in that line. That's the ideal shape of it. But whatever that shape is, it has to be symmetrical. It has to be the same on both sides. That's what I'm working toward. Right now, I'm working toward getting this flat from here back to here, straight, nice and straight. So that's the reason for the sand blocks. Blocks produce straightness or slight convex. Slight convex is acceptable there. You don't want it concaved. You certainly don't want it concaved. This is another aspect of good woodworking, is good sharp tools. This is a water bath stone, slow RPM, 60 RPM. There's water in there, and keeping your tools sharp not only makes work faster and easier, but it also makes it better, because you don't put as much, you don't exert as much force trying to make a dull tool cut and then slip and make a bad cut. So this is a way to sharpen your tools. There's other ways. You can use a stone and just rub it by hand. You can use a whetstone, or you can use one of these mechanized whetstones. Alright, this is going to be hard to see, but maybe I can just explain it. When you grind steel, even slowly, even with water, it makes a little hook. If you're grinding from this side, it makes a little hook of metal that rolls over that way. And you can feel it when you pull your finger across it, backwards. There's a little hook there. You got to get rid of that hook. When you create that hook, you've sharpened it as much as you're going to sharpen it with that method. It's not, you can grind it till it's only an inch long. It's not going to get any sharper. This little wheel is obviously it's just a cloth buffing wheel, and I put rouge on this, which is an abrasive. Hold that in there, and you're going to build up heat. You're going to cut that little burr off. You're buffing it off, you're polishing it, is what you're doing. Now, I didn't show it to you before, I should have, but I'll show it to you now how shiny that is on the top. It's just, the buffing actually removes metal. So, and you don't want to put that thing in there the wrong way. You won't do that but once, I promise you. I'm going to stay away from the edge of this grip cap, just enough to sand it, and by that I mean about 15 thousandths. I really need to get this thing in a different position. Whatever you do, you don't want to cut into that surface. I need to lay this thing down. And if this is a hold down clamp that I made years ago, I just took a C-clamp and cut it off and welded that plate onto it and bolted that plate down on this table. This has got carpet on it. I'm trying to throw a shadow with this light. I'm trying to get it so close that it casts the light across that where I can see my shadows. One of the most difficult areas of making a stock is right where this grip meets that butt, that transition part. Now I'm going to flip it over, go to the other side, and do the same kind of thing. Now this line is not completely finished because it's only right, it's only correct down about that last ½ inch. It's got to come on up this way, but this is still way too fat. So I've got to thin this down and then bring my line. After I'm done thinning this down, I'll bring my line on up. It'll disappear about where my pencil is now, but it's only correct from about the bottom of the crotch to about right there. Again, as I said, this line is dictated by where the top of this rifle comes off. Imagine that was a pistol grip. Where would that line end up? Well, thanks for choosing to spend your time here with me today. I hope you've enjoyed this program. I'll try to post a new segment each weekend. In addition, if you'd like to read about a stock that I made and then it took a 20-foot free fall, click on the link at the bottom of this page. It's called The Broken Gun. It's a story I wrote a few years ago about my two boys. Sometimes life's hard and things get broken. Now and then we get a chance to fix them. I'm so grateful for the opportunity I had to repair this broken stock. It led to a restoration that I never could have imagined. As always, if you like this video, please click the like button and share this with your friends. Have a great day.